And this is Rob. He's the founding executive artistic director of Rock and Rhythm Foundation, and the man with the coolest electronic violin I have ever seen.
Yeah.
How does it? This
It
just
defies gravity too. So.
That's cool. You don't have to touch it.
Nothing.
It just stays there.
Yeah.
It's like a hoverboard.
Yeah. I had it surgically implanted.
So you've been doing some cool stuff this morning.
Thank you.
And you're like building sounds with a sampler the whole time,
yeah.
right? How does
From
that
scratch.
work? You just like do a couple quick notes? And
Yeah,
then
the device is called a looper or a phrase sampler, and you basically hit record right as you start playing and create a loop a certain length you want, and then hit it again, and then you've created a loop, and then you can stack on top of those loops
and just build your song kind of live in front of us. That's what he's been doing all morning, and it's amazing to watch here. I think the folks at home aren't getting a chance to see all of the stuff that goes into it when you create the rhythms and you create the beats, and then you start putting the melody and the harmony on top of it. It's
I've
very
never had
cool.
so much fun practicing. That's my mantra.
I love it. So tell us about Rock and Rhythm Foundation. I know that that's your thing.
Yeah, Rock and Rhythm Foundation. Well, Rock and Rhythm is a concept that I've been building for about 19 years. I've been teaching in the public schools, and what I found is, well, let me ask you a question. What percentage of teenagers do you think like or love music?
Oh, probably 99%.
Right.
Like, I don't know of any teenagers that don't like music.
Absolutely. So the disconnect that I found was that in school, the percentage of teenage kids who choose to be in music elective classes is estimated at about 12%.
So there's a disconnect there.
Huge mismatch. We're not serving these kids. They love music. It's clear. We could engage them. They're ready to roll, but we have to take a different approach, and that's what Rock and Rhythm is about.
And then I know that there's surveys out there that say if you studied music, it helps your brain kind of process things in other ways too, right?
Right. It's activating. When you're playing music, more of your brain is working than I think most any other activity.
Yeah, because you're thinking about reading, you're thinking about planning ahead, you're physically active, all of it, all at once, right?
Timing things out, it's all,
Right. And then you guys have big workshops coming up.
Yes,
it's going to help help these students kind of get involved, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We have on Saturday, August 15th, I'm going to present a string teacher jam workshop.
String teacher jam?
Workshop.
That sounds cool.
I want to help string teachers who might be looking for a new innovative way to engage their students, to inspire their kids to learn how to jam.
I love it. And then
we violinists are not necessarily known as
jamming.
So
yeah.
I'm trying to change that.
That's cool. Well, not everyone has a blue electric violin at that. So does everybody have to show up with a blue electric violin, or can you show up with whatever you got?
Everyone with it. Well, we will bring some electric instruments and plug them in, so they get to make some nice
and have fun with it too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's free.
And there's also some classes for students, right?
Yeah, we have the Rock and Rhythm Youth Orchestra, which is a high school group of musicians where I'm combining rock band and orchestra together. So we've got a rock band, we've got an orchestra, bring it all together, and
that's cool. So how did you come to this? How did you end up doing this?
I was classically trained. I grew up in the north suburbs of Chicago. I played in the civic orchestra downtown. I was into it. Classical was it.
This does not sound like classical when you're playing for us today, though.
Yeah, but I still do, and I still love it. But friends in my high school who were in the jazz department, they went, hey, we have this jazz fusion band that meets after school. Do you want to get a pickup for your violin and play in our jazz fusion band?
And you said a pickup for my violin?
I don't know what you just said. I love it. I'm in. I didn't even know. It was completely a new world for me. And so these guys took me in and created this really supportive environment where I could learn how to improvise and
play
learn how
jazz.
to play alternative styles and all this stuff. So that is really the model that I use as Rock and Rhythm.
That's cool. So how'd you end up in Albuquerque for doing this? What was her name?
I knew nobody when I got here.
Oh, really?
I actually knew nobody. I looked at a map, and I checked the data, the weather data.
Oh, really?
If you've ever spent February in Chicago,
anywhere else sounds wonderful, right?
Weather, and I chose the sun, and I love the Southwest, and I don't know. I came here a few times, and there's something about Albuquerque,
right,
and New Mexico that really drew me in. And
I love it.
19 years later, to this day, I moved here.
Today's your anniversary of being here, 19 years. That's awesome. That's cool. So, and all of this is going to be at the South Broadway Cultural Center?
Yes, sponsored by the City of Albuquerque, South Broadway Cultural Center. It's fantastic. What a facility.
Yeah, it's a beautiful room, right?
Incredible.
One of my favorite rooms in town. And then you've got a performance with us here.
Yeah.
Yes, and I guess we can launch that in a couple of seconds here. But wanted to remind folks that it's August 15th is when everything kicks off.
It's the String Teachers Jam Workshop. Free, just sign up. You can contact the South Broadway Cultural Center or our website, which is rockandrhythmfoundation.org.
That's great.
And then the high school class starts in September.
Okay.
So contact us if you're a high school musician and you want to join this eclectic group.
Do you have to play
please.
strings, or can you be like?
No, we'll have electric guitars, bass guitars, drums, keyboards, the usual rock band setup. Then we're going to have violins, violas, cellos,
I love it.
basses.
Cool.
And kazoo, are you in?
I can certainly play the kazoo.
I've heard you could kill. You kill.
I kill on the kazoo. we have some photos here. What this all looks like, and who is this right here?
That's the first Rock and Rhythm Youth Orchestra, and performing at the Outpost. Our first ever performance at the Outpost Performance Space.
So yeah, it is. It is more of a rock band. It's more of what you think of when you think of a band, right?
Yeah, and there we are at the South Broadway Cultural Center in rehearsal.
Cool.
And there's the stage of the South Broadway Cultural Center.
So, and how many students? Oh, you have a giant group here.
There's some programs I do with the public schools where I bring a rock band in and we turn your string program into massive rock orchestra. That was up in Rio Rancho.
That's cool. And you're going to play a little bit of something for us here. Show us how you build a thing too. How you build the beats and how you use those samplers, because I think this is
so
cool.
I will build from scratch here.
And you've got foot pedals you're using that we can't necessarily see too easily, but there's foot pedals here that you just hit, right?
And you hit them. Hopefully you hit them right. So I've created level 1. And then I can add and stack on top of it.